Hello and welcome back to the Hasbridge and YouTube channel. It is Harry here, and today it is time for the second part of the V segment of the football alphabet as we look at players whose surnames begin with the letter V. I know I say this in every single video, but if you have missed one of them, a link to the playlist is in the description down below. And of course, whilst you're there, do all the necessary things of liking, subscribing, notification belling, all those kinds of things. And you can see more of my content and get notified whenever I upload a video straight away. The format to this series, I would hope, is pretty obvious by now. So without any further ado, here is my Hall of Fame of players whose surnames begin with the letter V. Number 1. Patrick Vieira. The only man who could ever intimidate Roy Keane, Patrick Vieira was undoubtedly a hard man who more than lived up to his image, but he was also so technically gifted on the ball, was an excellent passer, could run for days box to box, and had a cannon of a right foot if he chose to use it. Born in 1976 in Dakar in Senegal, he moved to France at the age of 8 and he was eligible for French citizenship as his grandfather had served in the French National Army, and he chose to represent his adopted homeland over the place of his birth. I guess that decision turned out alright. His professional career started off at Cannes, where he was made captain at the age of just 19, and his precocious talent was spotted by AC Milan, who snapped him up in 1995, although he would only make 2 appearances for the Rossoneri before being sold to Arsenal in 1996. He was described by the press, after making his debut for the Gunners, as, quote, the thinking man's Carlton Palmer. I think it's pretty safe to say that Vieira was quadruple the player at the very least that Palmer ever was. He would win 3 Premier League titles during his time with the North London outfit, including one, the 2003-04 Invincible season, as captain, as he scored the final goal of the season to rubber stamp their record, which has yet to be equalled since. However, perhaps inevitably as a result of his hard man image, disciplinary issues followed him around, and he was sent off on many occasions, including twice in the space of just 72 hours at the start of the 2000-2001 season. Furthermore, he was always an outspoken figure against his own club, criticising their transfer business on many occasions, including in the build-up to the 2001-2002 season. He claimed they wouldn't even finish in the top 5, although they ended up winning the league, with Vieira, of course, being one of the driving forces of the side. In the meantime, he was pivotal as France won the 1998 World Cup and the 2000 European Championships, and he went on to win 107 caps for Les Bleus. He left Arsenal in 2005, with his final kick for the Gunners being the winning penalty in the 2005 FA Cup final shootout against Manchester United, joining Juventus where he would win a Serie A title, although as a result of the Calciopoli scandal which engulfed the club, and indeed Italy as a whole, Juventus were relegated and he left for Inter Milan in 2006, where he won 3 more league titles in a row. Injuries saw his playing time limited, and he ended up at Manchester City in January 2010, the club where he finished his career. Straight after this, he took up a coaching role at the Etihad before moving to sister club New York City FC to become their manager and start off his own managerial career. He now manages Nice in Ligue 1. Number 2. Nemanja Vidic. Perhaps one of the top 3 defenders in Premier League history, Nemanja Vidic just so happened to be the perfect partner to one of the other defenders in that top 3 in the form of Rio Ferdinand. Vidic's no-nonsense, tough tackling and determined approach to games complemented Rio's more calm, composed and ball-playing style idyllically, although you would never have guessed that when Vidic walked through the door at Manchester United in January 2006. Born in 1981 in Vidić in what used to be Yugoslavia but is now Serbia, Vidic signed for Red Star Belgrade at the age of just 15 and progressed through their youth ranks before making his first team debut at the age of 19 in 2000. After winning the domestic double in 2004, Vidic signed for Spartak Moscow in a deal reported to be the highest paid for a defender at that stage in Russian league history. On Christmas Day 2005, Manchester United were the ones to secure his signature for just £7 million, their interest having been further piqued after he helped Serbia and Montenegro only concede once in 10 games during their 2006 World Cup qualification campaign, a record which still stands today, helping them top the group ahead of Spain. From then on, it was nothing short of domestic imperium. Vidic's partnership with Ferdinand was immense, and he helped the club win 5 Premier League titles in 7 seasons, as well as the Champions League in 2008. His displays in 2008 to 2009 were particularly noteworthy, as he helped United set a Premier League record of 14 consecutive games without conceding, and he was nominated for the PFA Player of the Year award. He became captain in 2010, but from 2011, injuries would hit him hard, and he was restricted to just 53 appearances in his final 3 seasons at Old Trafford in the league. He left for Inter Milan in 2014 when once more he was plagued by injuries, and the club took the decision to cancel his contract on the 18th of January 2016. Vidic would retire 11 days later, going down as a bona fide Premier League legend. Number 3. David Villa. A striker who I would always sign on Championship Manager 2007 owing to his prolific nature in front of goal, David Villa more than backed this up in real life, combining his goal-scoring exploits with exceptional close control and ability to drop deep and support the play as it advanced up the pitch. Born in the same year as Vidić, Villa began at Sporting Gijón, where his record in the second tier prompted Real Zaragoza to take a punt on him. 32 goals in 73 league games later saw him move to Valencia, where he hit his peak years emphatically, with 129 goals in 225 games across all competitions following. After being Spain's figurehead during their triumphs at Euro 2008, where he was their top scorer, and the 2010 World Cup, where he was their joint top scorer, his big move finally arrived at Barcelona after the 2010 World Cup triumph, owing to Valencia's financial troubles. At the new camp, in spite of a broken leg during his second season, he would still average more than a goal every 2.5 games in all competitions for the Blaugrana. Bizarrely, he was let go to Atletico Madrid in 2013, whom he helped win a shot league title the next season, but then he had his sights set on the newly formed club New York City FC and joined the club in 2014. His aim was to raise the profile of the sport even more in America, and he did so, with crowds and commentators warming to him immensely, especially after scoring 77 goals in just 117 games in the league. One of the very few players in the modern age to hit more than 400 goals across their entire career, he linked up with Andres Iniesta at Vissel Kobe, retiring after helping the club win the Emperor's Cup on New Year's Day 2020, and he now focuses his attentions more on the to-be-founded club Queensborough FC in America, which he co-owns. Number 4. Vava. My rogue pick for this video is Brazilian striker Vava, who is perhaps the definition of a big game player, and another player who just so happens to have played for a club who featured in the club's video for the letter V. Born in 1934 in Recife, it was with Sport Recife that Vava made his break at the age of just 16, joining Vasco da Gama in 1951 and going on to score 191 goals for the club across 7 seasons. He moved to Europe with Atletico Madrid in 1958, winning 2 Copa del Reys with the Madrid outfit in 3 seasons before returning to his homeland with Palmeiras, where he would average a goal every other game for the club. After spells in Mexico with Club America, the USA itself, and back again in Brazil, he would retire in 1969. He would save his best displays, however, for the World Cup. He scored 15 goals in just 20 games for Brazil, but 9 of them came in the 1958 and 1962 World Cups, with 7 of them across the 2 tournaments, coming in the knockout stages. He joint won the Golden Shoe at the 1962 World Cup, helping carry the Seleção alongside Garrincha in Pele's injury-enforced absence, and he also holds the distinction of being the first player to score in World Cup finals, and the only one to date to do it in consecutive finals. After 4 stints at clubs in Spain and Qatar as a manager, he ended his career in 1985 and passed away in 2002 at the age of 67. Number 5. Christian Vieira. A criminally underrated striker in many circles, Christian Vieira was all about anticipation and predatory instincts in the box, although he was technically gifted, two-footed and quick, even if injuries hindered his pace during his later years. Born in 1973 in Bologna, his family moved to Australia when Vieira was just 4, and he grew up loving football and cricket in equal measure, even stating that his childhood hero was former Australia cricket captain Alan Border. After deciding to become a footballer, he became somewhat of a journeyman, playing for 8 clubs in as many seasons between 1991 and 1999, including Juventus, Atalanta, Atletico Madrid, for whom he would score 29 in just 32 games, and Lazio. Inter Milan, however, would prove to be his home for the next 6 seasons from 1999, after they smashed the world transfer record to bring him to the San Siro, paying £32 million for his services, which would equate to a staggering £56 million today. Suffice it to say, he did not let them down, scoring 123 goals in 190 games for the club in all competitions, although he only won 1 trophy whilst at the Nerazzurri, the Coppa Italia, in his final season there in 2005, and he would only win 1 league title throughout his entire career whilst playing for Juventus in 1997. By 2005, his powers were on the wane, and a move to city rivals, and of course stadium rivals, AC Milan that same year, saw him dubbed as the worst player of the season after scoring just once, so he moved on to Monaco in January 2006. After 2 seasons with Atalanta, sandwiching a season at Fiorentina, Vieira retired for good in 2009. His luck wasn't much better on the international stage either, as despite scoring 23 goals in 49 games for the Azzurri, he missed Italy's Euro 2000 second place finish as well as their 2006 World Cup triumph through injury. To add to his misery, in 2002, he missed a golden chance to win the game for Italy against South Korea, and the Italians were eventually knocked out in extra time. Some misfortune. That just about concludes today's video. Thank you very much for watching. Of course, if you've missed any of the episodes, as I mentioned, the playlist is down below, and do all the stuff as you're meant to do. Like, subscribe, comment if you want to, and ring that notification bell. But thank you very much for watching in any case, and until next time, I'll see you then.